Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. We are back, peeps. We are back, and it is good to be back as well. I can't believe how much shit has happened in a week. I've only been gone 1 week. It feels like I've been gone a month. I've been gone a week, and we've had the collapse of the undisputed heavyweight title fight. Lawrence Okolie didn't do himself any favors. Benavidez put a beating on Caleb Plant, which was a very, very good fight. So much has happened. It's fight week for AJ versus Franklin. And your boy is going to try and cover as much as possible. I do have something special to say as well. It feels special to me anyway because I love this man. G-Man is going to be in the building in about 3 hours. He's come over from Ireland. He's here for the AJ fight week as well. I think he's got a press accreditation. If he's not, I'm certainly going to help him try and get it. But yeah, he's going to be here in a couple of hours and we're going to break down all of the subjects that you guys want us to break down in more detail. For now, though, I'm going to try and cover as much as possible because I've just landed in the country and I wanted to get to the green chair and do a video because there's been a lot to talk about. I even spoke about Chris Colbert getting a gift decision as well. So look, there's loads to discuss, but I think there's only one place to kind of go straight away, and that is Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk being off. Not happening, and I don't think ever going to happen. Normally, I think in the last couple of weeks, I've said, look, if it doesn't happen April 29th, I think it will happen in the summer, or maybe May or June. Now, I think it ain't happening, and that's a disgrace, and that just is boxing. That's boxing. I mean, for us not to be able to get the undisputed heavyweight title fight is just a joke, and there's only one person to blame, and that person is Mr. Tyson Fury. I mean, look, there will be a portion of the blame. I guess if we know all the facts, I guess there'll be a portion of the blame to Oleksandr Usyk. There has to be. But if that's Fury, that's Usyk in terms of blame percentage. I'm blaming Tyson Fury. He's the A side. He's the main man. He controls all his shit. And the fight isn't happening because of him. It's fact. He continually, and we know this now, has continually moved the goalpost. That's one thing we do know. I always say that we never know everything. But one thing we do know is Mr. Tyson Fury has moved the goalposts and Mr. Oleksandr Usyk has accepted the new moves. And all of a sudden, he decided, I'm going to move it again. And Oleksandr Usyk's like, fuck that. We're not doing it anymore. We ain't doing it. That's kind of what I think has happened, right? We're not doing it. And I don't know if this is a duck. No, it is a duck. I think there are variations of a duck. Do I hand on my heart, can you see that? Think Tyson Fury is scared of Oleksandr Usyk? No, I don't. But for some reason, he just doesn't want that smoke. I don't think he's scared of him. I wouldn't want to think the Gypsy King, the lineal champion, the unbeaten 6'9" monster is scared of Mr. Small Oleksandr Usyk. But there must be an element of fear there. There must be. Honestly, there must be. I've had this. This is a bad example. But I remember, like, in this industry now, I'm quite fortunate, right? I get offered to do certain jobs. Some jobs I'm comfortable doing. Some I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And the ones I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like, okay, say to them, this is just an example. Say to them, I want 5 grand. So I'm basically overpricing myself. And they'll come back and say, yeah, okay, we'll pay them 5 grand. I'm like, oh, shit. Say to them, I want first class travel. They're not going to accept that. And then they come back saying, yeah, we can do first class travel. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, what do I do? Say to them, I want a Rolex. Literally, continually fucking pick out the biggest things that they're going to say no to something. And they keep saying yes. And that's kind of what's happened with Fury Usyk here. Fury keeps on saying that he's not going to take 70-30 easy. He wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'll take it, says Usyk. What? You take 70-30, you do that. And this is what's happened. This is what's happened. And Tyson Fury is to blame. All you Tyson Fury crazy fans out there, explain yourself. Explain your man. Come on, look, I'm a Fury fan. I'm not a Fury fanatic like you guys are, but I'm a Fury fan. I respect him. He's the lineal champion. You have to respect him. I'm a boxing guy. I have to respect the best heavyweight on the planet. But I want you hardcore Fury fans to explain this. And don't say things like, oh, he's not scared of Usyk. He went and fought Klitschko. He's not scared of Usyk. He went and fought Wild. I'm talking about now. Now. You can't explain it. You just can't. This fight isn't. When a fight of this magnitude breaks down, it's always the A side. Because the B side will bend over backwards to get the opportunity. And by the way, Usyk is no scrub of a B side. We're talking about a unified heavyweight champion, cruiserweight undisputed, Olympic gold medalist, European gold medalist, world championship medalist. This ain't no scrub of a B-side. This is a guy that we know can do decent pay-per-view numbers as well. He's a good dance partner. But when it breaks down, it's the A-side all the time, because the A-side's demands just get a bit silly. They just get a bit stupid. I mean, I've spoken to Tony Bellew about his fight with David Haye, to the point where Tony Bellew was like, yeah, just say yes to everything. It started to get really stupid. Name whose name comes up first, who ring walks first, who does this first, who does that first. It's like, can we just get in the fucking ring and fight? But anyway, look, it's not happening. So let's not waste too much energy in it. Again, as I said, G-Man will be joining me, and me and him will go over it in more detail. But now I guess it's a case of who next. I mean, there's been talk about Tyson Fury will retire. We've heard this before. If you're going to retire, retire. Honestly, I'm just tired of it. Retire. I'm tired of his Instagram videos as well. Like his latest Instagram video that he released, I think 3 days ago, which was just, I don't know. It was just so poor. Like, it was the first time, because normally when Fury releases those videos, they get a good reaction because it's Fury and they're funny. And it's like, wow, okay, I'm loving this. This was the first one, which I think everyone was just like, oh, fuck off. That's the way it felt. Everyone was like, oh, just shut up. Everyone in their thousands. I retweeted it, and I think it got about 5,000 likes. People are, oh, I think everyone has just had enough of those Instagram posts which say nothing and just start swearing and nothing, useless. Stop them. But look, what next for him? I don't know. What next for Usyk, Daniel Dubois? If I'm Dubois, I swerve that immediately. Don't take it, Dubois. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're not ready for that yet. You're not ready. You're not ready for it. I mean, some might say, oh, it's a chance of being a world champion. You are correct, right? There's a good, I mean, the risk reward there is very, very good. The risk is high. The reward, though, is massive. So, I mean, if you're Dubois, I mean, you know, you might take it, right? You might. I mean, you're mandatory. You're in a WBA mandatory spot. So, who knows? But realistically, for Fury, there's been talks about Joe Joyce. If Joe Joyce gets past Zhili Zhang, yeah. I mean, all this is so disappointing. I'm talking about Joe Joyce versus Fury, which is a good fight, and Usyk versus Dubois. All I want to talk about was Usyk Fury. This is so disappointing. And this is where, you know, we had all the Fury AJ negotiations and they fell flat. And this just kind of feels like that. Just flat. You're so close to something big and epic and just boom, flat. Flat, flat, flat. I'll tell you what else was flat, and he's my boy, but it wasn't a great performance from Lawrence Okolie, was it? That was quite flat. Yeah. You know what it is? Because of the way in which he left Matchroom and DAZN and all the big sort of hoolah about him joining Boxer and Sky. And let's be honest, I mean, that David Light, that was who he's fought. That was the guy, right? Yeah, it was. He's not really that good, is he? If I'm honest with you. So you felt like this was perfect. You know, AO Arena in Manchester. I believe it done good numbers. I know a lot of them were comps and free tickets, but who cares? Done good numbers. You're thinking, all right, go on, impress, do it, knock him out, put on a good performance. Sugar Hill Stewart in your camp now with you, and it was just flat, really, really flat. So that's the kind of fight where Ben Shalom leaves scratching his head like, fuck. You know, we spent a lot of money on you, bro. Spent a lot of money on you. But look, it was out the ring a long time. He's only fought once in, 18 months. And look, I know people say that's just how he fights and that's his style. I don't know. I mean, I was lucky enough to cover his fight, the last one, the most recent one, sorry, against, I can't remember, he fought that Polish guy. That was a good fight. That was entertaining. That wasn't rubbish. So he has a style which can be exciting, and hopefully Sugar Hill can bring that out in him a bit more, because again, fight fans will be turned off by performances like that. Again, I'm a big fan of his. I know him personally, but even I was like, well, I can see, you know, it's funny, I'm watching it as a friend of his and as a fight fan, and as a fight fan I'm like, God, this needs to fucking get better. And as a friend of his, I'm like, oh man, I can already think of what fight fans are thinking about this right now. And then he go onto social media and he's getting destroyed. But we'll see what he does in his next performance. Obviously, now people are saying things like Richard Riakporhe beats him. Easier said than done when you're in there against Okolie. Easier said than done. But one thing Richard Riakporhe will do is make it an exciting fight. That's what he will do. All right, let's talk about David Benavides putting a beating on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant done well for the first few rounds, first half of the fight, right? His speed and movement is obviously a lot better than Benavidez. But Benavidez just has this way of just chopping you down. Unless you've got sort of crazy punch power, I don't know if you can do that, or crazy cardio. I don't know if you can keep up the pace you need to keep Benavidez off for 12 rounds. It's going to be very, very difficult. In that said, I didn't go away from that fight thinking, oh, Benavidez is this king that's going to now destroy everyone and rule boxing. I didn't have that at all. I think Benavidez is very slow-footed. I don't think he's got a great boxing IQ. This is just my own. Don't shoot me down. This is just what as I was watching it. This is what I was thinking, because as I'm watching it, I'm thinking of Benavidez versus Canelo, or Benavidez versus Jamal Charlo if he comes up. So I was thinking about that. Like, am I watching Benavidez and thinking he's going to rule over this division and potentially go to 175 and take some scalps there? No, I think he'll be good. I think there's a very good fighter there, but I didn't watch that thinking this is a guy that's going to dominate boxing. I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. I want to quickly praise Caleb Plant for staying in there as well. I thought Kenny Bayless was useless, but I thought Caleb Plant took some big shots in there. Shots where I thought, okay, maybe he don't get up for the next round. And then he kept on coming. He kept on coming. And in the end, I think he'll be happy that he went all the way. But Benavidez just too big, too strong. Just too strong, man. He's faster than a Margarito, but he has this kind of Margarito-esque style where you just know he's going to get to you. I'd love to see the Canelo fight. I think I'd like to see the Charlo fight first and then the Canelo fight. But look, if they can somehow get the Canelo fight over the line straight away, then that's a huge fight. It's a huge fight. But I would favour Canelo. I'd favour Canelo. I think Canelo has... First of all, we know Canelo's got a chin, all right? So there's a lot of people talking about Benavidez will get to him. Canelo's got a chin. You rarely see Canelo hurt in any fight nowadays. He's got great cardio at 168, 175. I think he carries a bit too much bulk. Boxing IQ is through the roof because he's been all these big fights. So I'd favour Canelo in that fight. I don't think Canelo's over the hill by any stretch of the imagination. I think Canelo looks after himself. Yes, he likes to party a little bit. I think he does. So I was going to say he lives the life, but when he's training, he lives the life. So I would favour Canelo, but it would be a fantastic fight. But there are good fights out there for Benavidez. Clearly massive at 168, so 175 should be the ultimate objective, I think, going forward. And then, I mean, by the time it gets to 175, Beterbiev could be gone, and then you could be thinking about a super fight between him and Dimitri Bivol. So look, loads of options for Benavidez, but Caleb Plant's still there as well, and I wouldn't just write him off. I think Caleb Plant shows that he can hang with these guys, just maybe not at the top table. You know, the Canelo top table, Benavidez top table, but anyone else, he's going to be right there or thereabouts, right? All right, what else did we do? Should we just go through the news as we normally do? Let's go through the news. Benavidez, I told you I was going to put a beating on Caleb Plant. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, he did. He did. Ex-manager of Joshua Buatsi blames stalled career on his old school risk-averse trainers. Okay, this is obviously in reference to Virgil Hunter. You know, Virgil Hunter was asked about the Bivol fight, and he's the one that... I think he's the reason Buatsi isn't fighting Bivol. I don't think it's Buatsi's decision. I think Buatsi would have fought Bivol. I was there ringside when Bivol beat Ramirez, and Buatsi was there as well, and Buatsi wanted that fight. Buatsi's like, come on. You could tell he's ready for it, pumped up. And all of a sudden, he's not fighting Bivol. I think that's more down to... Virgil Hunter than anything else. There's been a lot of talk about Buatsi saying things like, oh, I was going to get locked into a contract and maybe the money wasn't too much. I don't think it's any of those things. I think it's him listening to Virgil Hunter and Virgil Hunter saying, no, not yet. Not yet. I think that's why. A Catchall promoter says negotiations for Prograis fight look good. That's a big fight, man. Really good fight. Would that be on Sky? That would be on Sky, right? I mean, if Sky get that fight and Prograis comes over, it's Sky doing business. Sky doing bits. That's a good one. That's a good one. Lawrence Okolie, if you think you're good enough to beat me, let's fight. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Again, let's see what happens with Okolie. You know what it is with him as well? You just want to see a bit, I don't know, man. I just want to see a bit more from him, man. In fact, not a bit more, a lot more, because you know it's there. You know it's there. But again, I'm going to give him a bit of a blight because he was out of the ring a long, long time and he had switched trainers. It's a lot to take in that, I think. Franklin feels Joshua is far from finished. Says too many are jumping the gun. Yeah, way too many. Way too many. Joshua's got loads left. He's got loads left. Again, I'm very aware of who beat him. I think that's what it is for me. I know how good the person is that beat him. And I think you would have seen how good the person is who beat him on April 29th. I'm not saying Usyk would have beaten Fury, but I think you would have all seen just how good Usyk is and be like, shit, okay, now I get why Joshua lost to that man twice. I think there's a lot left in Joshua, and I think we'll see it on Saturday. I'm speaking to Jermaine Franklin tomorrow. I spoke to his team. We're going to get him on Zoom, obviously as part of my new DAZN show, which I'm guessing you guys all know about as well. Guys, get your questions in for the DAZN show, by the way. Leave them in the comment section. Hashtag it the Ade show, and I'll read them out. Get your questions in about anything. Doesn't even need to be boxing. You can either get them in on the comment section, or you can follow me on Twitter and tweet me, Ade_Oladipo1, and tweet me, hashtag it the Ade show, so I can read out your questions. What else we got? Lyndon Arthur on track for IBO title fight in May, says Sowland. Yes and no. I mean, yes, obviously he won on the weekend, but that was a guy that came in on like what, a couple of days notice or something, wasn't it? Like a really short notice. I thought Lyndon Arthur at times looked okay, but just okay. By the way, I heard that fight done like 1.5 million views on Channel 5. Good numbers, man. Very, very good numbers. Very good numbers. Anything else? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can. I ain't been on Michael Benson or Michael. I literally, when I'm away and not actually covering boxing, I do like to switch it off because boxing's full of shit. Innit? All right, let's see what Michael Benson said. Oh, hello. This is interesting. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. is reportedly now close to being announced for when? For June 3rd in Abu Dhabi. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right, that's interesting. We're gonna have to do a video of that with G-Man. Again, we'll cover all this stuff. Okay, this is Timothy Bradley. What did he say? On Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk collapse. Fury is the one to blame. I'm sick of the mess. I call this a legitimate duck by Fury. He's ducking Usyk. He didn't think Usyk was going to take 70-30. It's kind of what I said. The goalposts got moved again. They keep getting moved. Yeah. Interesting. I'm hearing a lot of talk, by the way, of Dimitri Bivol versus Jaime Munguia. A lot of talk about that fight. I think there is a struggle to get Dimitri Bivol a decent name next. I think they genuinely thought they were going to get the Boazzi fight, and that collapsed. But yeah, interesting. I wonder what the biggest fight is. Is it Bivol versus Canelo or Benavides versus Canelo? But what's the biggest fight? I'm starting to think it's Benavides versus Canelo, you know. I think that will do much more bigger numbers, especially in the States. All right, not much there. So we'll look at Mike Coppinger's page before we wrap. That's, by the way, I'm a bit surprised by the Eubank Ben. That's kind of took me by surprise, just because I was adamant that it was going to be Pacquiao, which I wasn't a fan of. Like, I'll tell you now, I prefer Eubank, and that's a big shame as well, by the way. That's going to be in the UAE, but I've got, obviously Ben's going through the situation with his license. But yeah, that surprised me a bit. I'm not quite sure if one's, you know, we haven't seen Ben obviously because of the situation, and Chris Eubank's just got knocked out. Don't know. Nothing much here at all from Mike Coppinger. All right, so we're done. Anyway, look, I am going to be having G-Man in the building in a couple of hours. Loads to talk about. We're going to do videos on... we have to talk about the Fury stuff again. I know it's old, but we'll do that. We'll do about the Benavides, Canelo. I like that. Now, obviously, we're hearing Ben Eubank, and we'll think of other stuff as well. I want to do 5 videos with him today. Peace and love.